without further ado, it is my pleasure to break in and introduce you to the newest member of our team, Bigo.
Sure.
Bigo, we appreciate you coming on today's show, Leroy, etc. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me on. How are you?
I'm doing great, sir. And we've met before this, but darn it, you gotta let me know, man. Who are you? Who is Bigo?
Um, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a tough question, but I'd say I'm a lacrosse fan. Um, it started to. I'm also Native American, so at a young age, I went out to Tonawanda and seen a box lacrosse game, and from there, it's just kind of taken off. It's just that's me, I guess.
Hey. Now, you mentioned lacrosse. From my understanding of briefly knowing you in those last few months, you play lacrosse in some capacity. Let the viewers know about the athletic side of Daily Dive.
Yeah, so just this past year, I played for a team out of Rhode Island for that NABLL league. It was my first time ever playing box. I've always been a box fan, but I've only been able to play field, my whole life. I started the team at my high school, and I played a couple years of college field, but yeah, it was my first time playing box. It was definitely um, how would I word that? A new
Fast.
experience. Yeah,
You're
it's
right.
fast paced. They're really strong and yeah, it was very new for me.
That's awesome. Um, which leagues have you played in so far?
Just so far, it's only been that NABLL for box. I also do a ULEX league out of Northborough, Mass. Um, which is like
That's
also
cool.
like an hour away from me. It's just kind of like a men's league, just to kind of get the sticks going and get ready for the season for the summer league.
No, I love that. I mean, I got to ask you, since you're a lacrosse fan, obviously you came across this show. Do you remember when you came across the show? Because I think I remember a little bit of it, but how did
Mm.
you find Dilly Dive and like what is your impressions of this lacrosse talk?
So it started. I was listening to a couple of the like the lacrosse shows you see now, like Lacrosse Classified stuff like that. And I think it was Jake Elliott. He was going over like a schedule of the week of this show comes out on Monday, this show comes out on Wednesday, and then he just happened to mention that there's a daily dive show and they're cranking out episodes every day. And
Wow.
I had to rewind it real quick. I was like, hold on, what? Like where's this show? Like I gotta peep this show. So that's kind of what started it all. It was just I was blown away that there was a lacrosse show that was every day. It was a little different flavor than what I was used to, but that was new, and I liked that. I liked that a lot.
Isn't that so weird that this sport is so freaking awesome, and yet no one, I don't know if they don't care enough, but it's like no one can put on the time and the effort without, I guess, getting paid big dollars. It makes no sense to me. Like football and hockey and basketball have all these shows, all these
Mm.
random podcasts. How do we not have anything like that in lacrosse? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's definitely starting to grow, and I love
That's
being a
good.
part of that. That's just very cool.
Absolutely. So, we know that you're an Albany Firewolves fan, correct?
Yeah, I started off as a Black Wolves fan. I actually did when you see them do these like Native American Heritage Nights and stuff like that. I performed on the field for the Black Wolves for one of the years that they did. I'm not
Wow.
sure exactly what year, but I got to meet. They were playing the Swarm. I got to meet Lyle. That was awesome. I got to pick up the sticks for a little bit, shoot around on the field, and yeah, since they moved, I've just kind of continued to follow the team.
That's loyal of you. Was that Minnesota Swarm or Georgia Swarm, by the way?
At the time, I think it was Minnesota.
Oh, that
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah.
All right, so I love that story though. So we got New England Black Wolves, Minnesota Swarm, possibly meeting Lyle Thompson. That's I've heard it's a hard thing to do sometimes because he's such like an awesome. He's like a big figure out there. Like it's hard to get a hold of that guy.
I
Good stuff.
actually like went onto the field during their warm-ups when I probably wasn't supposed to,
Oh,
and and just told them I was a huge fan. I thought, as part of the reason I started playing was just seeing, seeing him on Sports Center, on ESPN, some of those highlights, and it was just
Wow,
kind of, yeah, it went from there.
that's awesome. So, producer Joe's a Bandits fan. Like, how we have? I know the first game was a loss in overtime to the Rush, but how are you feeling? Are we going to challenge the Buffalo Bandits this year?
I think so. They made some adjustments to their defense, and obviously having Dyson Williams on is going to be pretty interesting. I went to the game, that overtime
Hey,
game, and seeing it in person was definitely very cool. It seemed like it was relatively the same guys, but it was a little bit different, like change up of the team, a little bit of makeup of the team, and yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how they match up against Buffalo, and how the season ends.
absolutely. So I gotta wind back to the social media part of it. For those of you that do not know, if you're tuning in to Daily Dive LAX on Twitter or Instagram, there's a very decent chance this fellow will be behind it. So
Mhm.
I gotta ask you, what is your favorite part about being a member of a Daily Dive team?
I want to say one of the coolest things, and it was really eye-opening, was to see the names of the people who interact, who view.
Hey,
That was very cool, to me, just to see, the behind the scenes aspect of it, and see, who's actually in the DMs, who's ready to interact, who wants to come on the show. Like that was very, very cool to me.
there's all these superstars out there, and we're just some startup podcast getting all these awesome. It's really surreal, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, LJ Lacrosse 49 is his handle,
Mhm.
like his brand handle for us. Like I said, reach out to my Daily Dive LAX. Let him know if he sucks. Let him know if he's doing a good job. Just interact with our boy Bigo. We know you gotta go, but we wanted to let you know that we appreciate the work you've been doing. Continue to be awesome, and of course we'll see you later on, anyways. But the viewers may not see you for a bit, so thank you for taking time out of your day, sir. And I guess we'll get back to you next time.
Thank you again. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for everything you guys do. You guys do a great job.
Hey, so do you, sir. Bigo, I love when we just slap each other on the butt over here. It's like, hey, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. It's crazy. All right. So